Recording rolling.
Right now, I really feel like this has been a week that has just been all about eloping.
Keep in mind this video
First,
is
Tessie
like
got out the front door while I was
a
taking
while
Maggie to the
ago.
bus, and then Maggie eloped on Sunday. And now I have one more story to tell you, and I'm really hoping that it's just the last story. Ultimately,
Even though I did
I'm
watch
gonna
it
let
so
the
many
video of it
times
speak
whenever
for
I'm
itself.
bored.
No, that's not true. You will get to see the video. But first, I'm going to tell you exactly how this unfolded. And the truth is, when Maggie's home, I'm basically always on guard and thinking about where she is, what she's doing, whether or not
Yeah,
she's
for
awake.
me, if I'm
Like, I know she
with
can be
some
downstairs
people,
playing because I like her to be able to have
I'd
some
rather stay in one
space. I don't
place.
want
I
to
don't
have
want
to be
to.
hovering over her every minute. Not just for me, not just because you really can't be on guard 24/7, but because I want the house to be kid-proofed to a point that she can have a little bit of privacy, that she can go to her room or she can go to the playroom and she can play without having to have an adult hovering over her. So the way that we basically designed the inside of our house when we moved into it was by going around it and looking at it and looking for weaknesses that she could exploit in her way and trying to make it safe for everyone, for the entire family. So I like to be able to monitor her intermittently. I mean, spend time with her, obviously, but also I like her to be able to have space when she wants her space. Because, I mean, she is almost 9, and there are times when she just wants to be by herself. And so I like to be able to give her a little bit more space and freedom when she wants that freedom. Obviously, that doesn't include when she runs off. When she is home, I do always kind of have my guard up. And as soon as I put her on the bus to go to school, that does drop. I feel like when she's on the bus, my guard drops. And when I drop Tessie off at school, it drops even lower. It's sort of, I have this time, they're gone, I can clean, I can get stuff done, and I don't have to think about what are they doing, what are they into. That part of my brain can rest and turn off for a little bit. So, yesterday, I put Maggie on the bus, and I talked to the bus driver for a minute because we chat every day. And then I turned around and I started walking back to the house. And the door hadn't closed yet. I don't usually stand there until the door closes. It's never been an issue. Maggie likes going to school. When I had walked her up to the bus, though, I just had this weird feeling that she was in an eloping mood. In fact, I said something to the bus driver as I handed her up into the bus, as she walked up into the bus. I said, I think she's thinking about running. Because as we walked outside, she kept looking down the hill towards the cornfields, and her head was just turned the whole time we were walking in that direction, looking that way. And that is really unusual. Usually she's like, I see bus coming, I see bus. It was super out of
That's
character
me.
for her to be looking the other direction and not looking at the bus when we're walking towards the bus. But I had a hold of her. I got her on the bus.
This is why I
And
work for
she
this.
didn't get straight into her seat. But I think that the bus driver has her. And I turn around and I'm halfway back to the house, or a good ways back to the house at least. And I heard something, and I don't exactly know what I heard. I think maybe he yelled. I'm not sure. But I heard a sound, and I turn back around, and I see her come down the steps so fast that she has gotten away from him, and she just books it down the street. And I take off as fast as I can, because her bus driver isn't the type that's going to be super fast sprinting after her. She had gotten a jump on it, and she just takes off. She makes it to the road, and she takes off down the road. And I am already, there's the whole driveway between us and the path between us, so I took off as fast as I could after her. And I actually, my first grip on her was when I reached, I felt myself like start to grab her jacket, and I felt her jacket give a little ways, and so I grabbed her and got actually a hold of her and stopped her. And immediately she stops and she's laughing because she thinks it's funny. When I watch the video, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I look like a cop walking her back to the bus with the bus driver. And the bus driver was coming after her too. And so he helps us walk there, and then he said, could you please stand here until I close the door? And so I did.
Yeah, figured. This is why I rather stay in my seat. The only thing that distracts me is my phone, laptop, or anything else. And sometimes I talk to the bus driver with various topics. But most of the time I'm quiet. Anyways, I'll go to bed, okay?
And then this morning he talked to me. We talked about how scary it was, because that was the first time she pulled anything like that with him. She always goes to her seat. Sometimes she even like puts the harness on herself. So that was just a totally new experience for him. He had heard the stories about her, but he'd never actually seen her in action. And seeing Maggie in action is totally different than like hearing the stories, but having her be this sweet little good girl who goes and sits down and is like, you know, sweet. So, I mean, I'm sure he deals with her getting out of her seat and all that. I'm sure he's dealt with her naughtiness, but it is still very different from seeing her try to run and seeing her try to elope, which is, let's face it, like one of her number one behaviors. Today he told me that he had talked to the bus company and they said that the new protocol was that I need to remain standing outside of the bus until she is completely strapped in. They have some new straps that they're using too, and he was telling me about that actually before she ran away, and I was like, yeah, totally fine when they showed me that. And there's like a new chest strap that's part of her car seat, and I basically said, yeah, I totally understand. I mean, it's really hard to keep her in any harness, so use whatever sort of car seat harness you guys need to keep her safe on the bus so she's not running back and forth up the bus aisle while you are driving her to school. So that is the latest in the autism eloping saga. She is really amazing when it comes to her drive, both to run and to just take off. I know she thinks it's funny. I am trying to figure out a way to get some sort of harness that is strong enough that she can use it, that I think she'll actually like it when she realizes what I'm doing, that we can run together with, because I was running a lot last year before I got sick, then I got sick and stopped running. I want to start running again, and I think she would like to run. I mean, she even says she likes to run. I'm wondering if we started running together, if that would work. And I mean, there's no way we can run, really. I don't think it would work us running holding hands. It would be way too hard. It's hard to hold hands and walk with her. But I'm wondering if we had some sort of harness that gave her a little bit more freedom, if that connected either wrists, that connected like to my wrist so that we could run together. And maybe we could try it out at a track first, and if it works at the track, then go on runs together, maybe off the track. And that could kind of maybe partially, I know
the only running that I
even
use is
when we
for
were taking her
basketball.
to a track to run before, she was still trying to elope. But I'm really hoping that maybe that would at least somewhat satisfy that urge of hers to just take off and run. Anyways, if this is my last eloping post for a while, I'm totally fine with that. I'm really hoping it is. Or at least, you know, I'm hoping that the next time I talk about eloping here, that it's because I am making a post to help other parents dealing with eloping, and not because we've had an incident here and I'm talking about the fallout from it, or how we're dealing with it, or new ideas for it. Anyways, that's it for today. If you like this video, we'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in all things autism, we'd love it if you'd subscribe. As always, I love to hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Alright. I guess I'll just, anyways, reacting while playing Minecraft here.